Hey guys, and welcome to Exchange Life's YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about what I wish I knew before I went on exchange. However, it is not necessarily like a guide to you, because no matter how much you like research, like I watched every single YouTube video there was about exchange before I left, and I felt like I knew everything, but I simply didn't, because you kind of make the road as you go and you learn as you live, kind of. And that is actually my first point, that I really wish I had known, or at least accepted, that adjusting to a new lifestyle will take time, no matter how much you think you know about it before. As I said, I felt so prepared. I thought I knew all about the American culture, but I didn't. And that is, as I said, a part of the experience, learning about all these things, getting used to new everyday life and systems. Like the school, you can hear / know stuff about the school, but when you're actually there and like they're writing, like, oh my gosh, what class was it? I think it was a government class, and they had wee darks, and I was like, it was basically like a quiz for, I didn't realize this homework stuff too, like everything is so different and you have to get used to it. So WeDarks was weekly, daily reading questions. So every single day he had like some questions from what you've read. And first of all, I didn't really know how to study. Like in the US, you read before the lectures. In Norway, you learn in the lectures and you don't really read the book. Like maybe you read the book to practice to test, but if they haven't said anything in the class, you won't be tested at it. Was my experience at least. So like reading before the class was so foreign to me, and I didn't know, and like so I had it wrong every time. And yeah, just in general feeling super lost, and I'm like this is not what I imagined at all. And that is just because it takes time to adjust to a new lifestyle. It's a whole new lifestyle in a new language, and everything comes like at once, which is kind of overwhelming. So I just wish I'd known that it is totally normal / okay to like be lost in the beginning, and it will take time. Another thing I wish I'd known before I left is that organization doesn't really matter that much. Again, the researcher that I am, I researched so many organizations, spent so many hours on like literally like 10-year-old reviews of organization, because I didn't want to choose the wrong one. Of all the like horror stories I had heard about, I just knew that if I needed to change my host family, I wanted an organization that could do that for me. But yeah, my point is, like, it doesn't matter that much, because they all do the same. They all have procedures to make it safe for you, to match you with a host family. And like if you need to change host family, they most probably will make that work for you. It's not like one organization say we will not do that. It's a lot about coordinators, and even with coordinators, that depends on your American organization. So I went with my Norwegian organization with a friend, and she got another American organization than I, so we had different coordinators. So yeah, I would just save myself a lot of time not spending too much time on researching, because they all, as I said, do the same. Like you can research to like find the right fit for you, but my point is it doesn't matter that much as I thought, because they all do the same, as I've said 4 times now. Number 3 is not everything will work out the way you think. I remember my organization said do not make expectations, because they might not meet them, but I feel like that's such a weird thing to say, because you're going on exchange because you expect some type of thing, right? But this head has a lot of dreams, and I was expecting like everything I had seen in the YouTube videos, and it didn't necessarily turn out that way. I was sent home before Corona. I didn't get a homecoming or prom date. I didn't make great American friends to have sleepovers with, and I didn't have the time of my life. But then my next one is, but everything will work out. So not everything will work out the way you think, but everything will work out no matter what. I feel like that is also something I really learned during my exchange. Like you just kind of have to go with it. You don't really have any choice on exchange. Not that you have that at home either, but like a lot of times during my exchange, I felt like it was kind of an out of my body experience, which was super like weird and special, because I haven't really experienced that when I'm home. But there you're just like getting pushed into things all the time, but everything works out in one type of way. Like I didn't get a homecoming date, but I had a great time at homecoming. The next thing, kind of relating to the last but not really, is that it is so hard. I don't really remember like what I expected, but exchange is hard. A lot of times it feels like a movie, because you've seen like stuff before, but it's not a movie. It is an emotional roller coaster. I felt like every day was going like this, and it was so tiring. Like a lot of highs I would never be without, but also a lot of lows, and I just didn't expect at all that it would be hard. I really didn't consider that at all. I hadn't really had like a hard time. Like that sounds so privileged to say, but like you mature so much during exchange too. So like before that, I haven't really experienced a lot of trauma. Not that it was trauma on exchange, but like being so high and so low all the time, and it came as a super shocker to me. So I don't know how I want to like formulate that, but like I really wish I knew that is just not a dance on roses at all. And that's not to scare any of you away, like it was totally doable, but like the whole exchange concept is too romanticized in my opinion. I have a whole like student block apartment as my audience and a guy just stared at me, so that was just great. But yeah, on to the next one. This is more for US specifically because I really wish I known that I was gonna have classes with all grades. That was a pretty big shocker for me when I was placed in classes with only freshmen and then in some classes with like all grades. I was really shocked and I was really negative about that. But it was also kind of weird because at my first school it was really hard, so people were super smart and had like done my level of education at like freshman and sophomore year, while I was a senior wanting to have class with seniors, but I also didn't want to have AP physics, you know. So I remember that really freaking sucked, but it was okay because a lot of people are super cool. So I wish I'd known that too, that you can, it is totally normal for a freshman and senior to be friends, and going into that open-minded. I really wish I'd done more. My next one is to not be afraid of exchange students. Before I left, I've always been obsessed with Americans, so I was super excited to get to know Americans and be like a part of the American culture. And I had like the mindset, I'm not going on exchange to be friends with internationals. Like if I wanted that, I would go to exchange to their country. I feel like I've talked a lot about this on our Instagram, and I do feel like exchange student friends might be kind of a curse and a blessing because they understand you so well and they are like so like-minded like you. When you go on exchange, you are probably adventurous and friendly and fun and get along with other people like that because they are also on exchange. So I made so many great exchange friends, but I really tried to distance myself from it in the beginning, and it took like a little bit of time before I kind of let myself, it sounds so bad, but like let myself be friends with them. He's not stopping staring, he just brought another one. Stop. Oh my god, slutt. Dra. But then about the curse thing, when I became so great friends with the exchange students in like no time versus all my effort and time I tried to like put in these American friendships that just didn't go anywhere, it made me, especially when I transferred school, I went to school with another exchange student friend who transferred to that same school. It became like such a safety for me and I didn't push myself as much as I really would have wanted to. Looking back for like, if I had not been there with her, like what would I have done? So yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that too much, but I really wish I'd known exchange student friends aren't people to be afraid of. My next one is that you are never alone. In the beginning, as I said, I didn't really talk to exchange students because I didn't want that, but I had such a hard time. As I said, it is hard, and I was like, why is it so hard? I just didn't have a great time, and I felt so alone because I didn't know it was supposed to be hard, and that was like the reality of an exchange year. But then when I talked to my exchange student friends, everyone was like, yeah, that is exactly how I'm feeling. So that is what I mean when I say you're never alone. Even though you think, I made a video about this too on my own channel, and like so freaking many people have commented like, I feel you, and that they also felt alone before they watched that video, which is, I really wish it wasn't like that, but it just isn't talked about enough, or like maybe recognized enough from future exchange students who just see exchange with like star eyes, which I totally get. And again, it's part of the learning experience, but I just wish I know you are never alone. If I could have told myself that from like the first month, I think I would have felt a lot better, because I really felt like I was alone of feeling the relationship with my host family, about not making friends, identity and language stuff. Like this is becoming a lot of points now. But yeah, you are never ever alone about how you're feeling, if you're sad or if you're super happy. I also really wish I knew how much identity and language is together. That was a big shocker to me. I think, again, I expected so much. I expected to being able to just be my best self once I arrived to America, the home I was supposed to be born in. I thought, but I just turned so much more shy and a not fun person, a person I didn't want to be at all, but I just couldn't be myself of some reason. And this is something I still struggle with. Like, I don't really know who I am, but especially when you bring another like language into the equation, it was just super hard. Then my last one, wish I knew, it sounds kind of weird, but like I guess I wish I knew / you might need to know that you will mature so much and evolve so much as a person, but you don't really realize that before you're home again. People say that you grow, and you obviously do, but I didn't really I don't feel that much different, I felt like, but when you go through all that and then you get home and nothing has changed at home, you realize how much you have changed, and just the way you see the world, you see it with a completely different new set of eyes. And I feel like being misunderstood is kind of the wrong word, but I have been like much more observing and like annoyed of like people and it's this is my personality type, but just kind of, yeah, being mad of like people's not matureness, kind of. Probably have to cut a lot of that out because I just started rambling about personality types and stuff. But yeah, you mature a lot, but you will probably not like realize that before you get home. And in some ways, it kind of sucks because people around you haven't changed, because I didn't go through what you went through, which is a lot to go through as a teenager on a high school exchange. So yeah, just simply, I just felt like I changed a lot after my change. And exchange is definitely the thing I've done in my life that has formed me the most as a person. And I am like forever grateful. Like, I don't know who I would be without exchange. But yeah, that was the 10th thing that I wish I knew before I went on exchange. Again, as I said, do not take this as a guide. This is mostly like just for fun. As I said, I researched everything I could before I went on exchange, and still I wasn't prepared. So you're not really prepared before you go there, and again, it is a part of the experience. So just embrace every challenge and hard and good time you come over, and be grateful for the amazing opportunity you have. And with that, I'll see you guys later. Bye.